I'll start with a quick review for this book, The War on Cops. I'll give this book 3 stars. I think the book started very well. Good information, good statistics. The argument was pretty well made. However, in the second part, even the 2/3 of the rest of the book was a lot of stories, real life stories, but over too much details. I felt like there was way too much details and kind of got lost. I think the book was just supposed to be half of what it was, and because it's kind of repeating the points, and then she brings some examples from real life. Again, too much information, and the point is still stands. She's trying to refute all kinds of ideas that people are making, but this is not the place to do it in the book, and not in the depth that she did. That's what I felt, but overall, I think our argument is pretty well made. Let's see the notes. Out of fear of being captured using force, police often resort to less policing. Since there is more, people are taking videos, pictures of everything. Police often resort to less policing because they don't want to get captured using force. The question why there is more crime and as a consequence more police stops has never been asked. In the first place, why there is more crime? And she said that there is more police stops as a consequence of more crime, not the opposite. And she said that this question has never been asked why there is more crime in the first place. Blacks are more likely to speed and not have car registration. Therefore, she thinks, or she claims that that's one of the reasons why there is more police stops among black population. Higher rate of homicide could be the result of more policing. One of the reasons there is more policing among the black population, she says, that could be there is also a higher rate of homicide there. Blacks kill more cops than their proportional size of the population. They said that there is more policing in police communities according to their proportional size, but he says there is also more blacks kill more than proportional size. The Ferguson effect is what happens when police disengage due to fear, and then crime is going up. That's what happened in Ferguson. I think what happened there was police killed a black person, which I cannot remember. Was it right or wrong? Eventually, but what happened there was a lot of protest, and therefore what happened, police started to disengage, and then crime rates were going up. Blacks are often the beneficiaries of more policing as there is more crime where they tend to live. So many of them do like to have more policing because in many of the minorities' neighborhood there is more crime, and therefore they want to have more policing. Resisting arrest seems to be the main cause of police shootings. Mostly what happens is when you resisting arrest is what the main cause. She has statistics, I can't remember, but that's the main cause of police shootings. Activists are advocating for proportional policing, which is that all races should be stopped or arrested according to their proportional size. That's the stance of the activists. They want to do proportional. So let's say there is 50% whites, they should be stopped at 50% rate, and so on. And she obviously refuted that claim by saying that where there is more crime, there should be more stops, etc. Side note, some of the information is too detailed and unnecessary. So that's more, the rest of the book is more, a lot of details, and it was not necessary. I felt like a little disengaged from that. Males are 90% of the stops. That's another example of disproportional policing in a way that males are 90% of the stops. Police are stopping 90% are males, which is interesting statistics by itself. Lack of father figures seems to be a problem in black families. She says one of the problems is that there's a lot of divorce, a lot of single parenthood in black communities, and that's one of the reasons there's more crime there. High incarceration rates is caused by high crime rates. She says one of the reasons there is a high incarceration rate in the US is the result of high crime rate. Requiring prisons to have proper medical care is often causing them to release prisoners, because there's now a mandate to have proper medical care. What they often do, they just release some prisoners because they don't want to bear the costs. Incarceration rate is 10 times higher than Germany. Homicide rate is 17 times. So there are, oh, sorry for the noise. There are always some comparisons between the US and Germany or European countries, and it's known that their incarceration rate in the US is 10 times higher than Germany. What they don't usually cite is that there is also homicide rate is 17 times higher. So according to her thesis, incarceration rate are a consequence of homicide rate. And that's the last one here. America doesn't have incarceration problem, it has a crime problem. And I think that's the main point of our book, which I think it's mostly a good point. That America has America has a incarceration, doesn't have incarceration, but it has a crime problem. And I don't agree with that point specifically. What I agree with is that sometimes there is a consequence. It's a good point, I think, to say that crime is what's going on, and incarceration problem and police stops are often the police or the cure in a way, or at least they try to do the cure. I'm not saying that that's the best cure, but that's the cure. That's what we used to do, or that's what we're trying to do to mitigate crime. So that's it for the notes. Again, I think there was some good information. I wished the start of the book was started really well and kind of descending from there. But I think it's a overall interesting view on what's going on, and especially in this time when I'm taking this after the George Floyd protests and everything. It was a good time if you want to dive in and get some more information, whether you like it or not, whether you agree or whether or not. It's good to have that information. That's it. Thank you.